Okay, so here we are on the search engine optimization lesson. So this is one of my most favorite traffic techniques because it requires you to put in work that has a residual compound effect over time. And yes, you can make sales within the same week doing this, but preferably this is something that you want to have like a slow burn, work on it every day so that it potentially has a profound compound effect that gives you unlimited traffic over time. So this is more of a way to potentially get traffic and leads to come in every single day, every single week for years and years and years on end without having to spend, large amounts of money on advertising to do so. But it doesn't happen right away, which is the reason why I like to refer to paid traffic and any type of paid advertising is sort of like a light switch. With stuff like that, with display ads, Google ads, and Facebook ads, some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about in future videos, all of that stuff is, you pay money and you get, it's like a light switch you turn on. It's like a faucet. As soon as you turn it on, you instantly start getting leads coming in. You're able to acquire new customers into your sales funnel. But with SEO, it's more of a slow burn and a slow grind, although you are able to get just as much if not more leads, quality targeted leads from search engines as you are from stuff like native advertising, etc. So we're going to be getting into this, and we want to be optimizing our content as we go along so that it's able to rank in the search engines. So if you create a blog post, 92% of the people who search for something, whether it be on Google or Bing, they stop at the first page. So that leaves 8% out of the whole pool of people who are willing to click on the second, third, and as you can imagine, that percent goes down the more pages they go through. So we don't want our page to, when we create a content piece, we don't want it to end up on the third or the fourth page. We want it to preferably be on the first page. So that's what search engine optimization is all about, getting our content to rank on the first page for any given keyword or key phrase. So when someone goes to Google or the search engines, they type in a keyword or key phrase, and we want our content to come up when they search for it. That way, they're able to potentially go into our sales funnel. Not only are they consuming the content that they are looking for, but they also see the opt-in incentive on the right-hand side of the page where they're able to click on it. It's related to what they were already searching for, and they go into our sales funnel from there. So we want our first blog post here to potentially rank on the first page. So that's what we're going to be getting into here. And I actually provided with you a checklist that we can go through. And this is actually kind of similar to the pre-published content structure checklist. The only difference here is that SEO is completely optional. That's why I had it in a separate module. So you'll see stuff on here that is kind of similar to the pre-published content structure checklist, but the only difference is this is specifically optimized just for SEO purposes. So let's go ahead and get into it now. There's two different types of blog posts, and I haven't covered the second one. I'm only giving you the template for the first one. So the second one is something that you can do on your own. It's a sort of an initiative thing. They're very similar, but the only difference is just the amount of words. So you can use the template actually that I've given you, but it's just a lot more words. So you kind of want to extend the space. So the second one is called a skyscraper article, and it's the same as a standard article, which is the blog post template that I've given you. Where, for an example, if I were to click on this, you have at the very top, you have your title, your headline, you have your content here with a couple of H1 headers, and then you have your video, and then you have the tools and the resources right below the call to action. And this is completely customizable here. You're able to put whatever you really want down here, but I use this area as a way to get people into my sales funnel. But you can also get into more detail about your content. You can put more information here. So this is a place where you can add those words. So with the standard blog post, you have an average of 350 to 550 words. And with a skyscraper blog post, you have an average of 3,000 to 4,500 words. And that's really the only difference between these two checklists. So I just want to let you know that now before we get started here. So with the standard blog post checklist, we want to make sure that we have long tail keywords in our headline and our permalink. So what that means is basically the keywords that our potential customer or target audience, what they're searching for on a regular basis, we want long tail versions of that in our headline and our permalink. So a headline is basically just the title of our blog post. So if we were to go back where it says save money while shedding pounds with the ketogenic diet. So ketogenic diet is our key word, but a long tail key phrase would be shedding pounds with the ketogenic diet. So shedding pounds with the ketogenic diet is an example of a long tail keyword. And another way that you can get long tail keywords is take your main keyword and then you can go to Chat GPT and just say, I need 10 long tail variations of this keyword. Just give them a keyword. Boom. So, and what ChatGPT will do is give us some long tail variations. Now, what we want to do, according to our checklist, we want to have these kind of keywords and key phrases in our, not only our title, but our permalink as well. So if we were to go back to the post, we're going to go to the actual post itself and then click on edit post. And so the permalink is basically the URL slug. We want to make sure that we have the long tail variation in not only just our title, but also in the slug as well. So in this case, I got to make a couple of changes here. So let's go back to Chat GPT and just look at some of these variations here. So ketogenic diet and its effects on longevity, ketogenic diet and the gut microbiome. So we're not talking about any of that. I can take one of these. So ketogenic diet and keto recipes for beginners. So let's look at what our blog post is actually about. Saving money while shedding pounds with the ketogenic diet. So since we're talking about how to save money while shedding pounds, what we can do is I can actually take this entire title here and I can ask ChatGPT to give me variations for this. Give me variations of, give me long tail variations of this. And then it'll give me different variations. Now I'll just take any one of these and I'll go ahead and put it in my permalink. That way we have more keywords that are tailored to our long tail version, at least the one that we had in our headline here. So we want something a little different here. So ketogenic diet for weight loss on a budget. This is perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to put this in our permalink here. So go back to the post and just take this and paste it in here like so. Okay. Ketogenic diet for weight loss. And I can just, since it's a permalink, we don't have to have every last word in here. We can just focus on the main key phrase here. So ketogenic diet, weight loss on a budget. Boom, and that's perfect. So once we're done with that, we can just click on update, make sure that we have that is our actual slug here. So if we click on it, as you can see, ketogenic diet, weight loss on a budget. Now we have a long tail variation of our keyword in our permalink, our actual URL slug, and as well as our title here. So that is the first box. We can go ahead and click check mark on that one. We want to make sure the keywords are in our thumbnail and the featured image. So in this case, keep in mind this is optional, but if you want the maximum effect, you want to go ahead and check mark all of these. So as you can see, I don't have that in my thumbnail. I just have a picture of someone stretching. So what you can do is you can actually create a thumbnail and put your main key phrase in there. So as you know, on my website, I actually have great majority of my content has thumbnails with the main key phrase in it. So for an example, if you were to go to any one of my blog posts, you'll notice that my thumbnail actually has the title in the actual picture itself. So I don't really have like pictures of anything related to business. I just have thumbnails with the title in there. Now, there's so many different types of thumbnails that you can choose from. I've chosen this style just for this specific industry, but you can create anything you like, and you can use any one of these health backgrounds and you can put something over top of it like so, or you can just look at different types of thumbnails that your competitors are using in your industry. So at this point, you should already have an idea of the people who create content similar to yours, and you can just look at their thumbnails and see which ones you like the best, which ones they're using, and you can kind of model yours based off of theirs. And then you can use programs and softwares like Canva, and you can create thumbnails similar to theirs and use the text from your main content piece, like your headline, put the long tail variation in the thumbnail like so. Like kind of like how I have here. Now you can do something similar to this, or you can change it around so it doesn't have all this text and you want to put more emphasis on the picture in the background. It's completely up to you. You can have it kind of look like this, how they have carb cycling made easy. And as you notice, they have these picture in the background here. So you can do something similar to that there. So We'll just assume that I went ahead and did that, and I'll go ahead and click on the check mark here. Now, keep in mind the featured image is this right here. So if you click on edit post, you'll know that the featured image is at the bottom right here where it says featured image. Now, since we're on this page, another place that we want to have our keyword and our key phrase, and this is actually on the checklist, is in the tags. So in the meta description and the tags. So if we go back, this is the tag area here, and we put the key phrase in here like so. All we gotta do is just paste them in here, and then we separate them by commas. So, and as you can see, I have all types of different tags and key phrases in those tags for this specific blog post. Now, the meta description, if we scroll down where it says OP3 page description, this is what I'm referring to. We also have another description, like a meta description, that comes up with one of our plugins, and I'll actually be sharing that with you here. So on my main website here, I just want to scroll down, and I'll actually have this in the description, but what this plugin is called Yoast, and they give you an extra area for a meta description here. So what you'll notice is on the right hand side, you actually have the optimized page description, and you have the meta description here. Now, I like to fill in both of them, and as you can see on this specific blog post, I don't even have tags or a meta description. So I do have to go back through and optimize some of these blog posts. But like I mentioned, SEO, this traffic module is completely up to you whether you want to use it or not. It is a viable form of traffic. It's extremely powerful traffic strategy. I just don't use SEO every single blog post because honestly, it is some extra work, but I like to go back through and optimize my blog posts when I have the time. But to save you a lot of time, you can go through and while you're creating your blog post, you just make sure you have this SEO checklist nearby. And when you do stuff like put your tags in and you put your meta description in, you can also put in the one that goes with the Yoast plugin. So if you install Yoast, if you go to the plugins on the left hand side here, go to add new and just type in Yoast SEO, you actually have this will come up underneath your blog post. So, and they show you what the meta description will look like. This is what I'm referring to in the search engines. So you have your title here, you have a description here, and then what you want is you want to have the key phrase in your thumbnail as well. That way, Google not only sees this in your permalink here, but your title, your meta description, and in your thumbnail, giving you the highest possible chance of ranking. So this actually shows you the mobile results and the desktop results. Now, what we want to do is we want to put the meta description in here, and then also from here, you can actually have the option to put the image that you want to appear on Facebook or Twitter or any of the other options available there, just in case it doesn't come up in the featured image. So this is also another place where you can put your image as well for the featured image. All right, so let's go back to the SEO checklist here. So if we scroll down, we want to make sure that we have the header tags on our blog post. We want those to have the keywords in them as well. So let's go ahead and go back to our main blog post here. So if I was just go ahead and click on update here, just to make sure that we saved all our progress up to this point. And I'm going to go back to the main blog post. So if we scroll down, this is what I mean by H1, H2, H3 headers here. So we want to have our key phrases in here, and we want to make sure that they're all related to our content, obviously. And another thing that I'm going to be getting to here in this SEO checklist is referencing internal blog posts. So if you have other content on your website that's related to this, you want to take the time to bold and italicize all of the different key phrases, keywords. You want to bold and italicize them and then link them to those content pieces. So for an example, if I click on edit with optimized press, and you'll notice that on the SEO checklist here, if you scroll down, it'll say hyperlink key phrases to relevant posts on the site. So right now we're on header tags, and I also mentioned to break up the content into different sections and subsections like how we have. So let's go ahead and check these off here and get into what I'm talking about here. So we want to hyperlink the key phrases to relevant blog posts. So what that means is basically we can come here, the ketogenic diet or keto diet, and we can just take this and we can bold it and we can italicize it, and then we can actually hyperlink it to another blog post on our website that's similar to this. So really all this means is you just go through your posts and look for stuff in there that's relevant to any other blog post that you have on your website, and then what you want to do is you want to bold it and italicize it, and then you want to hyperlink it to that blog post. So you put that blog post in here, and you want to open the link in the new tab here. And that's basically what that means to internal websites. Now, for the second checkbox here, you'll notice it says external links. So let's go ahead and check this one. Hyperlink key phrases to reputable sources off your site. So you do that same exact process, except you want to, for example, let's just say if you mention something about bodybuilding here. Well, let's just pretend that this says bodybuilding. You basically just highlight it and then bold and italicize it, or you don't always have to do that, but that is a good practice. It's to bold and italicize it. So you don't have to. You can just hyperlink it and then put in bodybuilding.com, or health and wellness, some wellness article from WebMD, and then you can open the link in the new tab there. But a good practice is to bold and italicize a lot of the keywords and the main key phrases in your content, and then you also want to hyperlink a lot of that content, a lot of the stuff in there, to internal links as well as reputable external links. And then once you do that, you can go back to your XDO checklist and then go ahead and check those off there. So we got internal links and we got the external links. And when it comes to the images on our site, we want to have them converted to WebP. And the reason for that is because it helps the site load faster. And the more fast your site loads, the easier it is for the search engines to process it, as well as the more time people spend on your site, keeping the retention rates high. And that helps your site to rank. So we want to make sure that we're not using PNG or JPEG images. And I'm referring to the featured images as well as any type of images that you have in your actual content. So in order to do that, all you have to do is you just go to Google and type in, JPEG to WebP, or, PNG, whatever the image is, and you just upload that image in there and you convert it to this format here. And then you take that and then you upload that to your actual website. Now, another thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that when we go to any one of these images, so let me just show, I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to exit out of here. And what you can do is you can actually go to the actual image itself. So if we go to the media library, click on this, click on any one of these, you can actually have the option on the right-hand side here to make adjustments. So you can put descriptions in here. So have like a small description about the image, and you can put your keywords and key phrases here in the description. And then also what you can do is you can, in where it says alt text here, you can actually have the keywords and key phrases in there as well. So you have like a brief little description, just something small. And then you also have the option to put a caption. Now, this is what's going to appear underneath the actual image itself on their blog post. So you can use this as an opportunity to put the key phrases in here and also in the title here, as well as the alt text. And then, once you can do that for all the images on, whether it be your feature images or the one on your blog post, but you do that for every one of your images. And that's what I mean by optimizing the images for SEO purposes. You just make sure they're descriptive and you have keyword rich file names as well, and also the alt text. So what I mean by file names is just this right here, like the actual file URL itself. So you can actually change this from your actual desktop, where the file is located on your computer. You just go to that file and then you click on the properties and you click on edit, or you can change the actual file name and put the key phrase in there. And then you upload it to your website here. And then from here, you can also change put the keywords in the title, the alt text, the caption, and the description. And that's what I mean by optimizing your images. So once we do that, we just go ahead and check that, and then we go into the next one. And we just want to make sure that our blog post has 350 to 550 words. And a way you can do that is you can actually just copy and paste everything in there. And then if you go to Google or any one of the search engines, just type in character count or word counter, and you just copy and paste all the words that you have from your blog post, and you just put it in there, and it'll let you know how many characters that you have or how many words that you have. And so you want to make sure that you have 350 to 550 words, not just individual like letters, because a lot of those websites, they only count the letters for some reason. So you want to look for a word count and just have it 350 to 550 words. And that way you're optimizing for the search engines, because they do have a standard there. that gives you the highest chance to rank on the first page if you have between this amount here, preferably more leaning towards 500 words. And then also you want to have long tail keywords naturally throughout your blog post. And this is kind of a given, but just kind of a reminder as you're nearing the end of the checklist here is just to make sure that you have the long tail keywords naturally throughout the blog post. So as you're talking in your content piece, go back through and just make sure that the keywords that are in there are naturally placed and there's enough in there that is obvious what this blog post about. If the spiders from Google search engines actually crawl your post, they're able to pick up on the keywords fast. So, and I talked about this before, but we just want to bold and italicize the keywords, not all of them, but a good majority of them. And then another website that I have in the resource section here is the keyword density tool. Now, this is a place where you can go to place your content piece in there and just see what the densities, how dense the keyword is. And you want to have between 3 to 5% density. And so what we do here is we just take our content piece, our blog post, and we place it in that website. We go to the website here, and if you just click on it, it actually take you there. It'll take you to this website here, and you can calculate the amount of density of keywords that you have in that piece. And you just want to make sure that you have a 3 to 5% density here. So you just come here and you go to SEO tools, and then you click on this keyword analyzer to analyze the amount of density that you have for your blog post. And again, you just want to make sure that it has 3 to 5% densities. So yeah, you can just use this website here. And I actually have a video on my main YouTube channel. I actually talk about this a little in more detail, but you can use this website here to analyze the density of your post. So once you're done with that, you've gone through and you made sure that you had 3 to 5% keyword density on your blog post. Then you upload it and then you update it and you publish it, and then you share those posts, you share that post on social media. So that way you're able to get the social signals that's required in the search engine optimization process. Now, the vast majority of this is on page optimization, meaning we're optimizing the actual page itself. But when it comes to external links or sharing the post on social media, that's off page optimization. So we're going to be optimizing our blog posts with off page methods by sharing it on social media as well as external links here. So once we're done with that, we can go ahead and check once we shared it everywhere. And this is just a standard blog post here. Basically, the only difference here is that this one has 350 to 550 words and the other one has 3,000 to 4,500 words. And the reason why it's called skyscraper article is because the length and size of the words, but we want folks to kind of view this as the ultimate resource, the all-in-one ultimate resource guide for people to go to if they want information on that subject. So that's why it's so lengthy, and they have a higher chance of ranking than the standard blog post article just because of the sheer amount of information there. But I did want to include this as well. It's the same exact thing, except this one actually has more words in it. And another thing that I want to talk about is a website called Uber Suggest. You can actually come here to get more keywords and key phrases and get more insight into the amount of people that are searching every month for that keyword. So if you put the keyword in here, the free version, you only have about 3 searches a day, but you can sign in here and then you can get more insight into the keywords and key phrases that you're actually using in your search engine optimization efforts. So I'm going to include that in the resource section as well. Now, one thing that I want to talk about real quick is the XML sitemap generator. Now, this is really quick and really simple to do. All you have to do is just come to this website here, xmlsitemaps.com, and then you put your URL in here. And what it'll do is basically just generate a sitemap. It's a way of structuring the files on your site as well as the content in a way where the Serps, the search engines, their spiders, which is their way of crawling your site to tell its domain authority and its page authority and what its positioning should be in the website. And it's another way for the search engines to index your site when they crawl it. And the best way for them to crawl it in the most quickest and easiest way is for your site to have a sitemap for them to be able to navigate more easy. So if you need more information on this, you can just click on right here where it says, why do I need a sitemap? And it'll basically break it down a little further. And it'll also tell you how to upload it here. So if you need more information on how to upload it onto your actual site, you just take the URL that they give you and you put it on the cPanel in the area where it says File Manager Public underscore HTML. And you can find this on my YouTube channel, and I'll also include this in the resource section. But this makes it so much easier for the search engine crawlers to index your website. So you just want to make sure that you have a sitemap for your website. And I wanted to include that in the resource section here. So that's pretty much it for the first part of this video. I just wanted to cover the SEO checklist, and I wanted to talk about the keyword density as well as skyscraper articles and the standard articles. And I have some more information that I want to share with you in regards to the backlinks, building up, just strengthening the overall authority of your website so it's able to rank and you have a better chance of ranking against someone who has the same exact amount of words and keyword density, except if yours has a lower domain authority than theirs is actually going to rank more. So you can actually increase your domain authority and your chances of ranking by building up the backlinks to your website. And you can track all of this stuff with an extension called Mozbar extension. So you can access that from the resource section. And if you install this extension, basically you're able to tell how much authority a website has in relation to yours. And if a website has the same kind of article as yours in the search engine, but they have a higher domain authority, that means they're going to rank higher than yours. So you can use this extension here as a means of, you can keep track of how many backlinks that your website has. And also what you can also do is you can keep track of your domain authority. So they'll give you the number, and the closer you are to 100 in regards to your domain authority, then the better. So you can use this as a way to track it, and you can also use it as a way to see how many backlinks your website has. So this is a free list that you can go to right here. It's called H Super Tools, and you can get this in the resource section here, but you can build up your backlinks here. And all you gotta do to get backlinks from here is you just go to these websites and you can follow the tutorials. A lot of these have tutorials, but if you click on the actual URL itself, the only thing you have to do is you just basically go there and you just create a profile on any one of these sites. Just create your own account, your own profile. You don't have to do anything else other than just put your website, your URL into the profile. So they're going to ask you, what your first and your last name is, and how it is with any type of website where you have to create your own profile and your own account. And basically you put your first, your last name in, your personal information, and where it says website, you just put your website in there, and boom, you instantly have a backlink from any one of these websites, strengthening the juice of your domain authority and increasing your page authority. So that's the whole idea here, and you can get access to this free backlink list. It's about up to, I believe, about 600 total sites. So this is a means for you to be able to build up your domain authority. So you should be able to access that right here in the resource section. So you can use Mozbar extension to track your domain authority and your page authority, as well as how many backlinks that you have in relation to the others. What this also does is help you to, when you looking in the search engines, for any one of the keywords or key phrases, if you type that in the search engines, if you have Mozbar extension enabled and you click on it twice, you'll see the results in the search engine come up, and you're able to see the actual domain authority for each one of those websites that come up on the first page. So you should be able to access that right here, and then the backlink list as well as Uber Suggest and the keyword density tool. So just to recap, this has been a pretty long video. We covered the SEO checklist. We talked about the keyword density tool, just making sure there's 3 to 5% keywords. I also gave you Uber Suggest as a way to get insight into the keywords and the key phrases. Then I also gave you a free backlink list. This is a place where you can get backlinks for your website so that you're able to increase your domain authority and your page authority, which gives you a really big advantage in ranking in the search engines for any given topic. And then also I gave you the extension so that you're able to track your domain authority and your page authority and the backlinks that your website has, as well as your competitors on the search engine. So if you're ranking for any given topic, what you're able to do is to take that keyword and that key phrase, go to Google, type that in, and then you're able to see the websites that come up that have that are ranking for that key phrase. And you're able to see how many backlinks they have, as well as the domain authority and the page authority with Mozbar extension. So it's a really good extension to have. And then ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence tool that's able to give you these long tail variations as I showed you earlier in the video. And then also I talked about just briefly just now the sitemap generator, XML sitemap, so that your content in your website is actually able to have some structure for the search engines to be able to crawl. And then I gave you the checklist here. So I want you to go ahead and go through this and take the time to set up everything, go through the checklist. This is a very powerful traffic strategy. And if you need any more information, by all means, you're able to go to the frequently asked questions below. And then if you need more additional information in regards to any one of these, I have videos of all of this stuff on my YouTube channel. All right. So yeah, that'll pretty much be it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. See you then.